thank you very much for watching or listening. Liam Hartree here with another episode of Presenting Champions. Today, joined by King of the Streets fighter, Fakhouri, a professional bare knuckle fighter, professional K1 fighter, world kickboxing full contact champion. But today, we're going to be talking about some very, very, very brutal fights indeed. King of the Streets, no rules, street fighting at secret locations across Europe. Very few people see inside this world, and Bash has a big fight coming up, which we'll get into in a minute. We're also going to be talking about his previous fight for King of the Streets recently and what went down there, and quite a few other things as well. This is our second interview. Some of you may have seen the first one, so this is an update on what's been happening since the last one. So Bash, thank you so much, mate, for making the time for this.
Oh, thank you for having me on, mate. Thank you for having me on again. Appreciate it, bro.
Absolute pleasure, absolute pleasure. So I think that the right place to start with this is going to be the upcoming fight. Now I know there's only so much you can say about this publicly, and just to put that in there, that's 100% cool. But this upcoming fight, there's a bit of a bit of feud going on, and again, I don't know how much you can say about this with this guy. So talk to us a little bit about what the fight's going to be, and anything you can say about it. Really, that would be great.
Well, listen, I think you know the guy's name. I mean, it'll be released anyway. We were mates. We were all right. I retired from fighting, pro fighting, as in BKB, K1, selling tickets. Most of pro fighting, what people don't realise, is about selling tickets, which is the shit part of it all. I'm at the age now where I don't need to do it anymore. Can't be arsed with it. I've done what I can. But this sort of thing, I was in talks to fight this guy. Through Coots, I retired. Maybe he took it the wrong way, or maybe, I don't know. I'd heard through the grapevine, I dodged him to this and that. So I did call him up. I called him up through Facebook, and we exchanged words, and we've left it as we're just going to fight on Coots. So we have the fight, sort out the problem, and then it's done, isn't it? It's nice and easy. I know the guy, like I said. He fights on Spartan. I fought on Spartan. He fought a lightweight. I fought a fucking super middleweight, wherever. I, as you know, take any fucking fight there is. So let's see. We'll both be the same weight, the same height. I mean, if he's going off my previous bare knuckle record, I mean, he's European champion, bare knuckle, hay bales. But all I'm going to say is I don't disrespect people. I mean, it's all silly bollocks, all childish, and all these issues. The words were said. I've called him up, and we've left it as we're going to have a fight. But all I'm going to say, and read into this as you want, my 2 losses to BKB boys, which in the day there wasn't hundreds of organisations. Paul Hiltz, there's my friend now. He's had 9 fights all around the world. Probably still one of the best middleweights in the world. Shout out to Paul, my pal. Conan, fighting for BKBFC. You know what I mean? One of the heaviest hitters. Would he beat him? No. So if you're going off my record, Bash has had 2 losses and I'm 4-0, whatever the frigging hell he is. Good luck to you. I don't want to disrespect people. But, it's no good looking at records. If you know about fighting, you can say, listen, this is a fair match, let's see, he's strong, he is strong, he's good, but, as I said, so, let's just deal with it. It's done anyway, it's already organised. Coots have arranged it, so the country's been arranged, the date's been arranged, I can't give those details out, so we'll turn up and sort it out, and then afterwards, I'm sure we'll be mates again, but, we were mates, and, few things were said, I don't know, but listen, it's left as there's a fight, so, we're going to have a fight and deal with it, and it's through Coots with no rules at all. The agreement is no rules. And when I mean no rules, biting there, but anything goes, Look at, Liam's a good friend of mine, King of the Streets champion, by the way, from England. You see him football kicking people in the heads. People have, it's not just, a fight where, not bare knuckle boxing, all of that, bare knuckle K1 is a sport. If you come from a travelling world, bare knuckle is part of life, but it's still rules, This isn't, this is a real fight where everything goes. And one of you's out, one of you's not. There's no tapping out. There's no, ow, that hurts, or, it's going to go. And then, once it goes, it's done. And I'm sure we'll shake hands after. We're both from the same fucking country anyway. So, it is what it is. He's champion, young and up and coming champion. Maybe, I don't know. Things were said. I did call him up, like I said. We called him up. We had a chat. Words were exchanged. Nothing bad, really, but it was left between me and him that we'll have the fight. We'll have a fight. No rules at all. In a country that's been agreed, done. That's it, done. So it's done. It's on. So let's just do it, get it out the fucking way and done. I might have retired from pro fight, but I'll never be disrespected. Nobody. I don't care if I'm 60, I still won't be disrespected. No way. No way.
Well, that's the best way, man. I mean, you can't disrespect. I mean, so much stuff in this world is built on respect. So, you can't be dealing with that. Well, obviously, good luck for the fight. I'll say that much. Obviously, you can tell at the moment, it is a bitter feud. I mean, there's some very sharp words being said and everything. I've seen bits and pieces, but hopefully, you guys can shake hands after a fight and just,
Listen, either way, we shake hands.
or something.
We're both from England. We're both, like I said, I've got photos. We've had photos together at places. We were all right,
Yeah.
But it's just been left. Listen, it's nice and easy. It's just been left. We're going to have a fight. No rules at all with Coots. And Coots have arranged it. Like I said, we just get it done out the frigging way and it's done. Yeah, we shake hands. They'll win or lose. But if he
Mhm.
thinks, Coots is very different to other things. Bare knuckle boxing, no matter what. Bare knuckle boxing is to the sport. There's a referee there. You get punched hard, they stop it. There's no one fucking stopping this. No one stops anything. It really does go. Eric Colson, look, gouging people's eyes out on the floor, and you can type it in. Type it into YouTube, you'll see. Coots is an
Yeah.
underground. Well, I won't say too much, but it's you'll see. You'll see. A fight's a fight. But this is how a fight is anyway in the street. It's not bare knuckle boxing in the street. Bare knuckle boxers are boxers.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, King of the Streets. I mean, it is next level. I mean, Eric's been on my show as well, so he was telling me about
Eric
the,
Papao, he's cool. He's cool.
you know.
Nutter, but he's cool.
But this is the thing. I mean, King of the Streets is next level. I mean, it's brutal, it's vicious. You could even say it's cruel. But at the end of the day,
No, it's not cool if you both agree to it. Whatever
yeah.
happens, you sign up for it. But there
Yeah,
is,
well, criticism for it. But it's like what I mean is it goes beyond the sport. Like, because I got all the
yeah,
respect in the world.
100%.
That's all I'm trying to say is it goes beyond being like, it's like the ultimate test. It goes beyond like a sport and it goes
Yeah,
beyond martial arts and it goes into
yeah,
being like
100%. Yeah, yeah.
that's
I've
what I
just
mean.
very quickly on that, Liam. Listen, my last fight was posted yesterday, and all the haters messaging me saying, "Why didn't I shake his hand? Unsportsmanship." Yeah, it was. Do you know why? Because I was there to have a fight. I turned up. Well, I'll explain this later. I broke my hands 2 weeks before, 2.5 weeks, my right hand, 2.5 weeks before that fight. So no condition, no running. All the training I did, I had plenty of time to train. It was broken. The boss knows, from because they even messaged and said, "Are you okay to fight, Bash?" And I said, "Listen, I'm a man of my word. Of course, I'm going to turn up." But there are a lot of people saying, "Why didn't you shake your hand? Why didn't you shake his hand?" I didn't shake his hand because this isn't. It's not boxing. It's not. I was at the time thinking, "How the fuck do I win this fight?" Do you know what I mean? How? And it's got. Listen, that's no excuse why I lost. I lost fair and square. But I'm just saying, when people start saying, "Why didn't you shake his hand?" and sportsmanship. Yeah, sportsmanship in bare knuckle boxing. This is not bare knuckle boxing. This is a fight. You don't have a fight in the street and have to shake his hand, do you? Do you know? It's a
No.
fight.
Well, to cut in there just a second, because one of the things that I think really sums it up, and it sums up what I was trying to say just now, maybe not very well, but what I mean is like when you after the fight, you actually posted up, you said words to the effect, you said something like there's martial arts and then there's real violence and there's a difference, or something like that. You posted up, and I think that sums it up because I got all the respect in the world for anybody who gets into King of the Streets because it's like it goes way beyond the sport, like to test yourself in there. Talk us through the actual fight. I know you can't say much about like any locations. We'll leave all that out, but just the fight itself and how that went down, because obviously that's already out there. That's already been
Yeah,
released.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you had the
Well,
injury. So,
yeah, well, the Coots King in the streets, they are the crew, a firm, depending on where you are in the world, to the terminology. They looked after me. I'm not going to say they didn't. They did, but they really do look after you. I've flown to a country, hotels, everything's paid for. They're good guys. You turn up, you do what you say. You have a fight. There's no problem. You fucking turn up, you fight. But you don't make excuses. You know me from old. Whether I win or lose, I post it. Because people give all this bollocks. It's about the journey. It's about this. Well, you don't post your losses. You don't do this. I post it all. I enjoy fighting. But you know what? I was caught. We started fighting. I fought a guy, Peter from Croatia. Actually, we're very good friends now. Very good friends. We actually message each other regularly. He's coming to England. He come and meet my family. We'll go out. He's got a bare knuckle fight here. So good luck, bro. So all this, you didn't shake. Yeah, we didn't, because we turned up to have a fucking fight where you can bite and headbutt. And I mean, it didn't end up like that. Thank God, because I wasn't. I had no conditioning. I was training up. I can't give you the exact time, but I had plenty of time to train. But 2.5 weeks out, I broke my frigging right hand, and it started putting it on, on my stories, and the boss, who was the boss from their court, messaged me and said, "Are you okay to fight, Bash?" And I said, "Of course I will." But no training, not even running. Every time I tried running with it like that, it was like hurting. That's no excuse to why I lost, by the way. But the conditioning was shit. And I was watching his hands so much, I couldn't really throw hands at all. Like people say, oh, why can't you jab? It's a fight. It's not boxing. You can't jab in a real fight. You know, you can once, as long as you follow up with a good right. So I was mainly kicking this. I was watching his hands. He caught me with a good kick. It cracked two on my ribs. So, and then it was time after that when you're out, you know, your conditioning isn't great, and you get caught hard, you know. And like I say, it cracked in my ribs. I couldn't breathe. There was no way of fighting back. It was time to just curl up and pray that, you know, hopefully it ends and he has mercy. Do you know what I mean? And you know, he hit me a couple more times and he stopped. Thank God. But yeah, I mean, it was a horrible position to be in. I've been bare knuckle fighting out of my league, like pro fighters, but this was different. You know, you can't breathe at all. Your ribs are gone. You know, all you can do is lay it curl there in a fetus position and pray that it's going to end. You know, when is it going to end? Think of some nice thoughts or something. Do you know what I mean? It just pray that it ends because you know that's all you could do. You know, and it did. Well, thank God. You know, but this is going to be a different fight. You know, already I can't give you the date, but I'm in a better condition than what I frigging was last time because my hands are all right. My hands are good, you know. But and that's not an excuse, by the way. Peter beat me fair and square. That's me for turning up. But you know what? I'm a man of my word, and they know this as well. So you know, who's know this? I did turn up with a broken hand, you know, and I had to worry about pushing forward and catching, you know, an arm or something like that, or even throwing a punch. Really, my coach that came out there with me said just move in with your legs. You know, if you catch him on the chin, do it. But, you know, don't start throwing silly shots. He can box. He was a good boxer too. Army boxing champ. Tough guy. Tough. It was good. 6'2", very rangy. Movement was brilliant. You know, so what can I do? Do you know what I mean? I lost the fight. Do you know, there's no excuses to that. But, you know, some people say, well, you know, the two things, you know, I get a lot of messages. Why didn't you shake his hand? Like, well, because I went there to have a fight and so did he. But, you know, he did. And afterwards we shake him. We're actually, like I say, good mates. So, there's no problem there. You don't have to worry about what happened before. You know, it's just, it is what it is.
Cutting in there, Bash, just a sec. I mean, that's something that is really great about King of the Streets. Is I have seen that a lot of guys, there's actually a lot of respect there between people because obviously you know that everyone's there to have a real fight, and so there's sort of a genuine respect. And a lot of the guys have told me that, you know, they get respect from the promoters and from the other fighters and everything. A few people have turned up like on their own and things like that, and it's just they get a lot of respect for this because it is such a real test, and it's the toughest thing you can do in the world, except for a fight to the death or something, or a fight with weapons. It's the toughest thing you can do in the world. So the fact you got in there, massive respect. Now I want to talk quickly about Spartan as well because I only want to give you some mention because this has happened before our last
interview. Well, my opponent's from Spartan. Isn't that a strange one? Isn't that strange? He's from Spartan. He's their European lightweight champion. So, you know, read into that. I'm sure you can do a bit of research and find out who he is. But, you know, it's he's from Spartan. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're obviously in the last interview we talked about these other styles that you've done with like kickboxing and taekwondo and obviously bare knuckle boxing in the ring and all these different things. But getting into the pit, you know, as far like the hay bales pit, as far as I know, the smallest arena in combat sports that you can actually fight in as well, like where it's just close to, you know, total close contact. Now you challenged for I think it was a European title, wasn't it, as well, or something?
It was European, but super middleweight, which was 14 stone. I mean, I don't fight 14 stone. I was trying to move up and thought it'd be, you know, I enjoy going up there, turning up, having a fight. I mean, the guy was strong. I mean, he's undefeated. I think he's defeated now, but you know, this is why you don't go off records. You know, you can say I lost that one, but I moved up 4 divisions. I fight at 12 stone, 11 stone. I won't fight anybody. I'll be telling giving it the big one, but I do. I enjoy turning up. I enjoy fighting. Do you know, it's the King of the Streets is different because, you know, you have to really watch your weights and who you're turning up to. But yeah, something like that. Listen, once it got out of hand, it stops, you know, but, you know, yeah, it was tough. You get in there and it's not a sport. There's no movement to it. You can't move. You can't box. You have to be strong. You have to be tough and you have to be able to throw a punch and take a punch, you know, that's it. You know, and it was good. You know what, Spartan is one of the good ones. It's one of the good shows. You know, you turn up, you have a real punch up. But there is no movement, you know. You can't box, you can't move around. You just turn up and swing, you know, or punch hard, you know. But yeah, it was cool. It was a good show. You know what I mean? I lost that one, you know, but I fought Reeves, 14 stone, I think he was, strong boy. You know, this guy, he's from there. He's a champion, but he fights lightweight. There's about 2 divisions between it. You know, we're the same weight. I don't want to say too much, but I'm fighting super middleweight. He's fighting lightweight. Now we're both going to fight, same height. Same, you know, we were both there on the same show. You know, we took photos together and, you know, we're the same weight now. So let's see. If he's going off of that as well, you know, you fight Reese. Would he
Yeah.
beat Reese? I don't know. Would he beat, the guys that I fought? I don't know. That's what you have to look. You look at records. You don't go, oh, the guy's 2-0 and he's 4-0, because that's just silly talk. That's just like pub talk, that's just stupid. Look
Yeah.
at the opponents and go, well, would he beat that opponent? Would Bash beat that opponent? Would he beat? That's how you really, what's he, there's two different things, records nowadays. See, bare knuckles got so big. There's so many organisations. You can have somebody. When I joined BKB years ago, there was only BKB. That was it. At the O2, that was it. There was no other organisations. And the only way to get into BKB was to be either a professional boxer or a professional fighter. You had to be a professional fighter in one form. Now you can do anything. There's hundreds of organisations. Anyone's, you can go to any, the lower organisation, you can go to any of them and just fight, and train, which is good. It made it a sport. It's made it, popular, which is great as well. But you can't just turn up and, have a fight, which is, we're great for the sport. But to me, this is why records mean enough. You can have someone 8-0 on a show fighting somebody that's never really trained but likes to fight, or you can go to, BKB where you've got like Sweeney, and no one's going to get near these guys. No matter what they think. These are not only pro boxers, tough guys that can fight. Not just tough. You have a tough guy, but you can also have a professional boxer that likes to fight and comes from that world and has done it all their life. Two different things altogether, completely different.
I mean, the backgrounds, like even if you look at the guys you fought, like even with Paul, for example, when I interviewed him, and he's got this, massive background with unlicensed boxing and winning titles with that before he was doing bare knuckle and everything, and and people like that, and obviously Romeo you mentioned earlier, and all these guys, they got
Romeo, he's cool as well, yeah,
good guys. Shout out to both those guys, well, top
yeah.
guys, but at the end of the day, mate, I wish you the best of luck for the fight with
Thank you.
at the end of the day. And obviously, I respect anyone who gets in there. So I am going to say, obviously, with your opponent, I am going to say respect to him as well, because at the end of the day, he's getting in there in pretty much the toughest sport. Well, it's not even a sport, King of the Streets. I mean, it's like, I remember Eric Olsen said this when he was on my podcast. He said that King of the Streets, he said that's not a sport, that's death. He said,
I agree. No, not death, but it's not a sport. It's not a sport. It's not a sport.
No,
you train for it. You train for it the same sort of way. If anything, you have to start learning. I don't want to give too much away. You have to start learning other things, because it's not just a punch up. It's not boxing. It's not kickboxing, and you have to train other things as well. But a short frame of time to learn something new is hard. You learn the basics, but at the end of the day, when you get punched hard and when you get caught, you have to resort to what you know. So if you're not used to it, or something goes wrong, you're in trouble.
And after this King of the Streets fight now, are you basically going to be retired then? You're basically going to be
I've retired anyway. I was enjoying my retirement, getting even fatter, drinking beer and eating. But, boxing, bare knuckle boxing, no. Kickboxing, no. All of this. But, I wouldn't even now, I wouldn't let somebody disrespect me. I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't. And, win or lose, I would. It's and don't talk shit like I'm not here to sell the fight. We don't have to. Nice thing about it, there's no ticket sales. I don't have to do nothing. I just mention it as it is. But even in real life, I wouldn't let somebody disrespect me. And who would? You know what I mean? If it, if things are said, well, of course you're going to do something about it, aren't you? Surely.
Yeah, of course so, absolutely. I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, and it's good that King of the Streets have got that sort of system for organising it to be settled the right way. And I think actually, and it's a funny type of thing, but I think in this day and age, it's a good thing as well, because people are settling feuds and things the old-fashioned way. Because obviously these days, there's too many people getting stabbed and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not saying this is anything to do with you, but the principle of, do you know what I mean? The principle of settling like a beef.
They stab them because they're weak. That's why they stab them, because they're weak people. Yeah.
So the fact that King of the Streets, they're showing like how it's done proper, and obviously they're broadcasting. If you have an issue with somebody, settle it the old-fashioned way. Shake hands afterwards. Go and have a pint or whatever, and leave it be. And that way, there's no questions asked. So there's no rules where you can say, oh, it got stopped because of a cut, or it got stopped because of a low blow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's stopped when it's stopped, and I know it's sort of a strange thing to say, but their message of what they're doing of getting that settled, proper, it's a good thing for the world, But anyway, mate, like I say, good luck for the fight. I mean,
Thank you very much.
To have a little update on what you've been doing as well with obviously the last King of the Streets fight and Spartan and all this. Anyone else who wants to know more about your career, obviously they can check out our first interview we did a few months back. But this is a nice little update, and I respect your opponent as well. But Oh, I hope you get the win because you're such a good guy.
Oh,
You know,
thank
always treating me
thank
well.
you, mate.
You've
Listen,
always
I
treated
love
me.
your stuff. I love watching all of it, and thank you for having me back on. Do you know what I mean? It's great. It's great. Thank you,
Oh, it's
bro.
a pleasure, mate. It's an
Yeah.
absolute pleasure to catch up with you and everything. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.